How's it going, YouTube? This is Skull, and welcome to episode 54 of Zootopia Home Video. Today, I am going to start talking about my Australian subset. And before I show off the first of what I have, I also want to say, second to the United States, I think Australia has the most variants of Zootopia that there are. And I'll explain partly why that is in this video. And I also need to say I don't have anywhere close to all of them. I think I have 4 that I'll be talking about in this and the next 3 videos. And I think that there's 11 total, something like that. There's a lot. Part of it is because they had, just like the UK and Germany and a few other places, they had the Disney Classics re-releases. So on top of the releases of Zootopia on home video that began on June 15, 2016, when it first hit home video in that country, they also had the re-release later of the Disney Classics collection, when I believe in Australia it was number 57, despite Zootopia being the 55th. Anyway, on top of that, on top of the re-releases of the DVD and the Blu-ray and the 3D, all on the Disney Classics, the regular releases had variants to them, which I will talk about here. So let's go ahead and start by talking about this. This is the Australian 3D Blu-ray plus digital code combo pack. So, just like the rest of the launch titles, this released in Australia on June 15, 2016. Australia, with this and every other release, had options for either the disc by itself or a disc plus digital combo pack. Now, they didn't do this for the DVDs, but they did do it for the Blu-ray and the 3D Blu-ray. So, yeah, that already doubles those releases from 1 each to 2 each. So, yeah. And the one and only difference, well, I shouldn't say the one and only difference. There's a lot of differences on the packaging here. So like the standard Blu-ray wouldn't have this blue banner at the top. The art would be shifted. It would look a little cleaner. The back wouldn't have this blurb here about how there's a digital code. And of course, there wouldn't be a digital code on the inside. Aside from that, that's the one and only difference. There's nothing different about the film itself. It's just this one comes with a digital code. Here in the United States, we've been used for maybe 15, 20 years close to now, that Blu-rays just come with a digital copy. Well, maybe not 20 years, but actually, for sure 15. In the United States, they used to come on a disc that you would put in your computer and transfer it from that disc to your computer that way. Starting around 2012, 2013, they transitioned from a disc to a code, and it's just been standard practice ever since then for most releases on Blu-ray and then 3D and then 4K to come with a digital code for free. But that's not really the standard practice in most of the rest of the world. The rest of the world, if you want a digital copy, you have to buy it separately. Or, in this case, Australia, for this and a lot of other films, not just Zootopia, for this was standard practice for a few years there in that country, they would offer 2 different versions of the film. One that was Blu-ray only, and one that was a few dollars more, but still saving money if you were to buy it separately, that included the digital code inside the package. And that's what I have. I do not have the standard Blu-ray because it is really hard to justify dropping another however much money to buy the exact same thing, and the only difference is that that one doesn't come with something. So this is currently the only standard Blu-ray release from Australia that I have. Again, they did re-release it with the Disney Classics. I think that those Disney Classics included a digital code as well, but I could be wrong. Anyway, Australia had a lot of variants, okay? With that out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about it. This is Zootopia. This is not Zootropolis, despite Australia being part of the British Commonwealth. They retained the Zootopia name in Australia. It was able to avoid that Denmark trademark dispute. Denmark trademark, that's fun to say. So it's still called Zootopia in Australia. There is a major difference with this copy of the film. This is the final variant that I have to talk about where the news anchor is a different animal entirely. I've mentioned this in previous episodes. In most of the world, the news anchor is Peter Moosenbridge. He is a moose. In some other countries, he has been reanimated to be a more local animal to that region. So, for example, in China, it's a panda bear. In Brazil, it's a Brazilian jaguar. And in Japan, it's a tanuki. But here in Australia, it's a koala. So I kind of feel bad that it took until showing off my final subset before I finally brought up the final news anchor with a difference, but there it is. If you buy a copy of Zootopia from Australia, the news anchor is a koala. There you go. So that's the main reason to import the movie from Australia. Other than that, Australia has this thing, well, a lot of the world has this thing. UK had this, and Australia's is even worse, where they have to put the rating right there on the front. I'm sorry, Aussies, this is such an eyesore. I really prefer I don't have it on me. I really prefer the American one, where it's just a clean look at the poster and you get the info up there on what's included. But it's not their call, it's their government's call, so there's the rating. Rated PG. Mild themes and threat. Some scenes may scare young children. Sure. Anyway, here's the spine. Oh, and none of the Australian releases came with a slipcover, which is interesting. Most of the rest of the world got a slipcover in at least one of their releases, but none of the Australian ones did. Anyway, so we got the Disney Blu-ray logo up there. Disney's Zootopia, Judy there, catalog number, the standard Blu-ray logo, and then even on the spine, it says what the rating of the film is. Yep. On the back, this is what it looks like, very similar to the backs we've seen on most of the rest of Blu-rays at this point. We got the blurb of the film, we've got one disc included, and then this banner, which I've never seen before, which is yellow and includes Digital HD Digital Copy Plus. So this is called a flyer. Flyer, code to download feature film. Watch your movie anywhere on your smartphone, tablet, TV, or computer. Do not discard enclosed flyer as it contains your unique code. Digital copy code subject to expiration. And according to this doesn't actually say when it would have expired. It says iTunes may expire on 15th of June 2021, and Google Play will be 15th of June 2018. So just a few years removed from that. Anyway, so the rest of it has all legalese. Yet another look at the film rating. We get it. It's rated PG, Australia. Anyway, and more legalese and stuff like that. So yeah, and one other thing to mention before I actually get to showing off the stuff on the inside. This only has 2 languages on it. English and Russian. I don't understand Australia at all. Anyway, so let's go ahead and look on the inside. And the inside actually does look a little different than we've seen before. Also, I should mention, the case is a UK style case, so it's a little thicker than the US style. Anyway, so this is what the inside looks like. The inside comes with the Blu-ray disc over there and the flyer for the digital code there. And behind that, if I were to take this stuff out, get a proper look, we don't see this very often. There's an actual advertisement on the reverse of the cover for Disney Infinity 3.0 specifically. So this is advertising the Nick and Judy Infinity figures, the Zootopia Infinity discs, and the game in general. Pretty cool. I actually do have the Disney Infinity figures. They're some of the only ones that I have from Disney Infinity is Nick and Judy. I didn't get into the game, and it did not last for very long after this came out, basically. But it's really cool to see an advertisement for something behind the case art. We don't usually see that. So there's the disc, very similar to the disc that we've seen up until now. Blue disc with white label, Zootopia. It is region free. It is region ABC, so this will work everywhere. And of course, we have the flyer. So this is what the flyer will look like for the digital code. It is nice that this is personalized to the Zootopia film, so you get all the look of the film on the TV, the computer, the smartphone, and the tablet, although I don't know why you would want to watch a film like that. And by that, I mean, you see how it's zoomed in, still up, down, instead of rotated. Anyway, so there's the code. I haven't tried it. Good luck. And there's what the back looks like. And I assume this is more of what it will look like for every single film, not just Zootopia. Your digital copy, no disc needed. Watch your movie where you want, when you want. At home, in the car, on the fly, anywhere. And you go to digitalcopyplus.com.au or .nz. I don't know what the difference is between going to .au or .nz. I know New Zealand and Australia are different, but still, anyway. That's really all I have to say about this. That will bring this video to an end. This is what a Blu-ray digital copy combo looks like from Australia. I don't know which would have been more popular, spending a few dollars more to get a digital code or paying the standard price and getting just the Blu-ray by itself. I'm the guy who, I'm just used to getting digital codes with my films. If they started releasing films without a digital code for $5 cheaper in the United States, I can kind of see that being pretty popular. But also, physical media is dying, and people are used to paying that price, so they may as well just keep paying that price and get an extra copy of the film, right? I don't know. I just don't know what would be popular. I don't know what would work and what wouldn't. Australia tried, and now Disney doesn't even release physical media down there, so take that for what you will. So that'll bring this video to an end. Thanks everyone for watching. Please leave a comment down below if you learned something and if there's a copy of Zootopia on home video you want for me to cover in the future. Thanks everyone for watching, and stay tuned for more.